Coming up next on KPBS Evening Edition, San Diego celebrates Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with community service.
Men in Southeast San Diego march as a rallying call to their community. They're asking fathers to step up and make a difference.
And we'll speak with a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist about his life as an undocumented immigrant.
KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Ferrian.
And I'm Peggy Pico, in for Dwayne Brown.
A former Marine who enlisted in San Diego and trained at Camp Pendleton is accused of being a serial killer who targeted homeless men in Orange County. 23-year-old Itzcoatl Ocampo is accused of killing 4 homeless men since December 20th. Ocampo served in Iraq in 2008, and his father, who is himself homeless, says the Marine Corps changed his son. The Orange County District Attorney is expected to announce charges against Ocampo tomorrow.
A 21-year-old sailor was airlifted from a Navy ship 20 miles offshore of La Jolla early this morning. A Coast Guard flight surgeon said the sailor required immediate medical help for chest and back pain. An ambulance met the chopper on the shore and then took the patient to the nearest hospital. There's no word yet on the sailor's condition. And Camp Pendleton Marines, seen in this video from last year, teamed up with the Japanese Ground Defense Force today for a joint training exercise. The two groups took part in amphibious drills, helicopter escape plans, and integration exercises. The commanding officer of the event, dubbed Iron Fist 2012, said it was an opportunity to learn from each other and build relationships.
Today, San Diegans mark the birthday of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. in a variety of ways.
Yes, some went out to serve their community and others celebrated San Diego's diversity. Take a look.
We're doing cleanup all over the neighborhood and in the community. MLK Day is a great day for us to all get involved in community service. But at the same time, I actually think that this is just one day. We should be doing this throughout the year, all the time. And I hope that we can excite people to also be part of their community every day, all throughout the year.
I took the day off just to basically do this because I saw the president this morning painting middle school. So, and I do this. This is my 3rd year doing it. So this has become an annual thing for me, just to volunteer and help the community.
You look at what the Reverend did, standing up for middle class, for low workers, for unions, for them to have a voice, a seat, and that's what it's about. It's about giving back and fighting for injustice, and this is about giving back, and giving back in different ways, and one of it is cleaning up your neighborhood, cleaning up other people's neighborhood. It's giving back. That's what I see it as.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
My dream for the world, peace would be fantastic. Yeah.
I think for me, for everyone to know Jesus.
A fair and equal world.
Yeah, fair and equal world.
For everyone.
Peaceful, truly peaceful.
Yeah.
Kindness.
My dream is give the best education possible for my son.
Peace is always a good thing, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I think just awareness, being aware of different civilizations, different cultures, just being happy, making the most of the time we do have.
I wish that
Stop.
they won't no gangs or anything, no drugs. They would throw that away and stuff. Everyone would be nice, caring, and no drugs.
A community group in Southeast San Diego wants to reclaim its neighborhood, and it's asking men to step up to the plate. Joanne has more at the roundtable.
25-year-old Courtney Graham loved computers, photography, and a good cup of coffee. That, according to his obituary written in the summer of 2010. Graham was shot 6 times in the back while walking home in Southeast San Diego. His death rattled the community, but also became a rallying call to action. Mario Lewis was Courtney's friend. He joins me now to talk about how grief led him to establish 100 Strong, a coalition of men trying to empower their neighborhood. Mario, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Tell me how your loss inspired you to form this group, 100 Strong.
Well, Courtney Graham was a real good dear friend of the barbershops, and we loved the gentleman. He was a very innocent young man, and to see him die the way he did, it really touched us deeply. So we decided ourselves to do a call to action to our community. We wanted to call the action to basically bring forth a whole new thought process as far as trying to get people involved. We knew we had a rally, which we called it, renaming the Four Corners of Death, the Four Corners of Life. Imperial and
those four corners, Imperial and
Euclid has been long called the Four Corners of Death. So with that rally, we had the Four Corners of Life renamed, and everyone that had lost children to violence in our community, we also invited them out. From that, we didn't stop at the rally. We started a Reclaiming the Community campaign, where we knocked on over 3,200 doors one Sunday every month for a year and a half with volunteers. San Diego State African Student Union was involved. Masons were involved, just people of concern in our community. And the Reclaiming of the Community basically was, it was a letter of hope. And what we were trying to do was reestablish our village. We also had hotline information from graffiti all the way to homicide to let everybody know, don't be scared and don't be ashamed to pick up the phone, because this is our community and safety is first.
You mentioned Friend of the Barbershop. Of course, you own and operate a barbershop in the community where a lot of the men who now are members of 100 Strong belong. You held a march on the weekend. We're going to show some photos while we talk more about this group from your march on the weekend. Now, what does 100 Strong stand for? 100
Strong is not 100 men, and we do have women in our group, by the way. 100 Strong stands for 100% to God, 100% to family, and 100% to community. We are not 100%. There's no one that's 100%, but we strive to be that.
Now, when I learned about your group, it made me think about something President Barack Obama had said a couple of years ago in his Father's Day message. And I want to read it quickly because I think it speaks to what your group is trying to tell men in your community. What he said in this message back a couple of years ago, he says, just because your own father wasn't there for you, that's not an excuse for you to be absent also. It's all the more reason for you to be present. You have an obligation to break the cycle and to learn from those mistakes and to rise up where your own fathers fell short and to do better than they did with your own children. And that was President Barack Obama back in 2009. Is this the message to the men in your community?
Absolutely. I mean, we want men to be accountable for their actions. We want men to be mentors and leaders. We want them to take their rightful place back as leaders in the community. That message from Barack Obama was right on point, and that's exactly what we pushed for with the march. It was funny because with the march, a lot of women called us and they had children, and they wanted their children to march with us, but they were part of single-family homes. So we did match up some children with some of the kids to march with us. And that was a wonderful thing, and that's where it starts right there, because that is something that child would never forget.
Mario Lewis, where can people go to find out more about your organization?
You can go to www.100strongsd.com, and you can give us a call, 619-366-9386. And we love to hear from you. We love to hear what the community wants to talk about or whatever.
Great. Thank you. Mario Lewis, thanks for being here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
He thought he was in this country legally until he tried to get a driver's license at age 16. In a moment, Pulitzer Prize winner Jose Antonio Vargas will join us to share his story of living under the radar. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tonight on KPBS, at 8, Antiques Roadshow is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Philbrook Museum of Art, to look at seemingly everyday household items transformed into stunning functional art. Then at 9, the Roadshow's in Tampa, Florida, and nearby Sarasota, at the Ringling Circus Museum, to view displays of circus toys and posters. And at 10, Michael Palin continues his trek across the roof of the world, from Khyber Pass through troubled Kashmir. That's tonight on KPBS.
I'm Ray Suarez. On the next News Hour, the latest on the 2012 presidential campaign. That's Monday on the PBS NewsHour.
The American people have named PBS the most trusted source of news and public affairs.
For the 8th year in a row,
Trust.
the American people have spoken.
Thank you.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
San Diego has long been considered the center of California's surf culture. Now that culture is an academic subject at San Diego State University. KPBS business reporter Eric Anderson has the story.
The marine layer drops a light coat of mist on the cars at the Tourmaline parking lot in Pacific Beach. The break just offshore is familiar territory for San Diego's surfers.
Tourmaline is a longboarding spot. It's been a surfing park since the mid-1960s.
Jess Ponting points to the gray skies and choppy waters. The lifelong surfer likes to ride the waves about 3 times a week. He says these conditions may be unappealing to swimmers, but not to people looking for a wave. Surfers gather just offshore nearly every day. They sit on their boards just outside the break until they see a good swell.
Then you paddle like hell and catch the thing. You've got to get your board up to the same kind of speed as the wave that's approaching and jump to your feet and ride the thing.
And while there are plenty of people who surf here in Southern California, what Dr. Ponting is interested in is people who actually take their surfboards with them and travel to a different location. It's that travel that generates an economic impact worth billions worldwide. Ponting came to San Diego State University to teach a sustainable tourism class, but after a short time, he began pushing for more. His drive led to the creation of the Center for Surf Research in SDSU's Hospitality and Tourism School. Tourism and surfing are natural partners, according to Surfer's Journal, a magazine that's chronicled the sport for 2 decades.
Our readers, we just did a survey on this, and our readers travel out of the country to surf 2 times a year in the majority. So like 70% of our readers travel outside the country to surf twice a year. I think that's probably more than the general populace.
Being from San Diego, I love Baja, California, and have traveled extensively all over Baja to surf different breaks down there.
Beth Slavkov gets out on the ocean a couple of days a week, and she enjoys surfing along the Mexican coast.
Just camping along the beach and taking dirt roads and finding little treats of waves here and there, and it's just wonderful.
Jess Ponting says camping on the beach in Baja is just one kind of excursion. He says people travel thousands of miles to unique surfing locations. Ponting says some estimates put the value of surfing-related tourism at $7 billion a year worldwide. He's currently studying the impact of surf tourism at Uluwatu, a busy Indonesian surf location.
And we figured that there's somewhere in the realm of 250,000 surfers visiting to surf that wave each year, and that's just one break on one island in one country that has over 2,000 islands.
Ponting says studying an industry that's scattered around the globe is challenging but rewarding. He says he's anxious to start looking at some of the bigger issues.
Seeing how the imagery that surfers carry around in their heads of that perfect wave in the perfect location, which is the imagery that drives most of the surf retailing industry, what does that image mean for the people who live in those destinations? We carry this dream around with us in our heads when we travel, and we overlay it on different destinations.
Ponting hopes SDSU students will take advantage of the research opportunities at the center. He wants to put a study abroad program in place for next year.
That was KPBS business reporter Eric Anderson. Ponting says he also hopes the research will help governments around the world manage and preserve their surfing resources. More than 1,000 people gathered downtown this morning for the 24th annual All People's Breakfast, honoring Martin Luther King Jr. The keynote speaker is a man who may be changing the debate over illegal immigration. Journalist Jose Antonio Vargas is at the roundtable with Joanne.
Six months ago, reporter Jose Antonio Vargas wrote a story that would change the direction of his life. Vargas told his story, that of a 12-year-old boy from the Philippines who was sent to live with his grandparents in California. At 16, he learned through a teller at a DMV his green card was a fake. That event set in motion Vargas's life as an undocumented immigrant in a country that had become his home. His New York Times essay documents 18 years of covering up his illegal status and the people who helped him along the way. Joining me in studio is Jose Vargas. Vargas has worked for the Washington Post and shares a Pulitzer Prize for his reporting on the Virginia Tech shootings. Thank you so much for being here, Jose.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Take us back to that day at the DMV when you find out your green card is a fake. You go home to your grandfather, you confront him, and what does he tell you?
He tells me basically that the woman at the DMV was right. Mind you, when the woman at the DMV, the teller, when she told me it was fake, I thought she was lying. My first instinct was, no, she can't be right. I mean, I remember, riding my bike home to my grandpa's house and seeing him in the garage, cutting coupons for Safeway. And asking him, that's when he said, yes, they're fake. And what are you doing showing your green card to a teller at the DMV? My grandfather basically just wanted me to live kind of an under-the-table, underground life, like a lot of undocumented people do.
And he didn't want you to know you were living that life.
No, he didn't. And I have to tell you, I was 16. I was very upset. And I think that was really, when my journalism career in some ways got started. Like asking questions like, how could this have happened? Like, because I thought, like a lot of Americans do, that, wait up a second, I thought only people from Mexico are undocumented illegal aliens. I didn't think people from the Philippines would qualify for that as well.
And yeah. We'll remind people at home how you ended up in America, too. It was your mom, right? Your mom wanted you to have a better life.
Yeah, she wanted to send me to her parents' house. My parents are both naturalized American citizens. Grandpa was a security guard. Grandma was a food server. And, so she sent me there. And who was I to question what my status was? I just thought that I was here fine. So that was really the day finding out about my actual status that I realized that, being in America was something that I had to fight for. It just wasn't something that was a given,
How did it change your sense of who you were?
I mean, all I remember thinking was this voice in my head saying, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. But I'm here. What was I supposed to do? I didn't trust, at that point, I kind of didn't trust anybody. I wasn't sure if I could trust my grandpa, my grandfather. And, I felt guilty about that. My grandfather simply wanted to give me a better life. How could I not trust him, But this is what happens in this kind of situation, People are put in such, not just uncomfortable situations, but also impossible situations. For me, thankfully, a year later, I discovered journalism. My English teacher introduced me to journalism. And ever since then, ever since I was 17, all I basically done was write stories.
What your essay does so beautifully, it describes what you have to do in order to remain under the table, whether it's to get a driver's license or to apply for a job, and the anxiety and the stress you go through in those situations that many of us take for granted.
Well, I tell people all the time, it's like, and again, I really wanted to outline every step of the way, the kind of thinking that goes through someone's mind. I mean, think about, when people say that undocumented people who are driving are trying to, they're blatantly breaking the law. They're simply trying, why do they drive? The same reason that you drive. Because they want to be able to drop their kids off to school. They want to be able to go to work. They want to be able to live with dignity, right? It's not because they have a malicious, I want to break the law and disrespect America. No, that's not really it. And mind you, when in writing the essay, I spoke, I treated it I treated myself as a news story. I must have spoken to 30 lawyers, all of whom said, don't write this story. Certainly don't say that you got a driver's license fraudulently. Don't say that you checked those boxes and claimed citizenship. But the story would not have had, I think, the impact or the power that it had or that it has if I wasn't honest with that.
Why did you write it?
I wrote it, and I'm doing what I'm doing to basically say that I'm just one person, right? I'm just one of, an estimated 11 million undocumented people in this country, 250,000 in San Diego County alone, right? And we're not exactly who you think we are. We're not just mowing your lawns. We're not just waiting for a job outside of Home Depot. We're not just babysitting your kids. We're going to college. We go to your churches. We attend your schools. We live in your neighborhoods. We are a part of you, whether or not you know it. And to me, that's what Define American is about. This organization that we've started, it's about elevating how we talk about immigration.
So what did you think would happen to you the day that your story ran in the New York Times?
I was prepared. The worst case scenario was to get deported. I prepared my family. I actually have my uncle, Uncle Conrad Salinas, lives here in the San Diego area. He's one of my closest relatives. I kind of informed the rest of my family this was happening and prepared them. My grandmother, who's one of the most important people in my life, and I was really scared that she was going to have a heart attack at any given moment because she was so anxious about all of this. I want to make sure that she's okay, because I knew that anything could happen.
What did happen?
Nothing. Nothing has happened. I could not have been more public, with this. I gave an exclusive interview to ABC News. The New York Times ran it. I think it was the most read article online for 2 weeks. But I think the fact that nothing has happened to me, I think that just underscores how we really don't want to talk about this issue and face this issue and face the complexity and the realities of it. We're living at a time in which Mitt Romney, the frontrunner for the presidential Republican nomination, still talks about, all he talks about immigration is secure the border, and get back into line, without us in the media sometimes questioning and kind of following up saying, wait up a second, Governor, what line are you talking about exactly? And doesn't the governor know that illegal border crossings are at its lowest level since the Nixon era?
What do you think should happen to you?
I think what should happen to people like me who have been living in this country, I've been here 18 years. I went to school here. I paid taxes here. I think there ought to be a process for people like me to come forward and say, here I am. If you want me to pay back taxes, I can do that. Want me to learn English? I speak English pretty well. You want me to pass some citizenship test? I can do that. You want me to pay a fine? Let me know what the fine is. You want me to wait in the back of a line somewhere? Tell me where the line is, and I'll go and wait and not bump anybody off the line.
I want to ask you one final question before we go, because people at home are still sitting there and saying, you know what, though? There's got to be a set of rules. Everybody wants to come to America, no matter their circumstance. Is it just that you're the sort of a victim of unfortunate circumstance, that you ended up here at 12 years old and now you have this life? Or are we just not enforcing the rules that we have?
I think it's a combination of many things. Again, I'm just one story. I'm just one person. And what we really have to figure out is, to me, in a country that's been founded and replenished by immigrants, the question about immigration reform really gets squarely at who we are as a country, what our values are, right? People who have been here, who have been part of our communities, in our churches, in our schools, what do we do with us? We know that we're not going to round us all up, 11 million, and ship us off somewhere. We know we're not going to do that. So instead of just talking about the problem, let's really collectively talk about a solution.
Okay. Jose Vargas, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Vargas's story has attracted a lot of attention online. We've got some of those responses coming up in just a moment. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
He was desperate for fame.
He clearly thought he was destined for greatness, to be remembered for all time.
And reckless for glory.
Custer was going to find the Indians, and Custer was going to attack the Indians. There's no worry about how many Indians there are.
Custer's last stand.
The Indians said it was like a buffalo hunt. There was more Indians there than the military had bullets.
On American Experience.
Tuesday at 8 on KPBS.
Hi, I'm Elsa Sevilla. If you find yourself hearing about a great program on KPBS after it's already aired, we have a solution. Get notified about your favorite TV programs on KPBS before they air by subscribing to the TV Highlights email alert. This daily email will feature the best programs coming up right here on KPBS TV, so you can make a date to tune in or plan to record it. It's easy to register. Just go to kpbs.org/alerts.
Welcome back to the Public Square on KPBS Evening Edition. Just before the break, you heard Jose Vargas tell his own story of living in this country illegally. He was also on KPBS Radio earlier, and the conversation generated a debate on kpbs.org. Here's some of what people are saying. Astro fan says, deport him. California Defender writes, he should be arrested at the All People's Breakfast and charged with numerous felonies. Winning a Pulitzer Prize does not absolve you of a life of crime. Peking Duck says the consequences of deporting someone who just arrived here yesterday are far different than the consequences of deporting someone brought here as a child by no fault of their own who has grown up here. I find it unreasonable and inhumane that our immigration laws make no such distinction. And Randolph Slinsky says, I really don't care how a person came to be here. If they didn't go through proper channels, then somehow amends must be made. Well, what do you think? Send me an email, jfarian@kpbs.org. Let me know if I can use some of your comments on air. Or you can also follow us on Twitter and, of course, like us on Facebook. And now let's go back to the news desk where Peggy has a recap of the day's top stories.
A former Marine who trained at Camp Pendleton is in jail tonight, accused of killing 4 homeless men in Orange County. A sailor from Bonham Richard is being treated for chest and back pain tonight after being airlifted by the Coast Guard from her ship off the coast of La Jolla. And Camp Pendleton Marines teamed up with Japanese troops today for Iron Fist 2012, a joint training exercise that will be here for the next 3 days. You can watch and comment on any of these stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us and have a great evening. We leave you with a look at the forecast.